All right, team. What's going on? Welcome to the Create from Truth podcast. I'm your host, Will. And inside of today's episode, we're talking about how content is a supplement and not the main thing. Now, before I get into this, I want to clarify a couple of things. If you are in the very beginning stages of your coaching business and you're in the very beginning stages of creating your audience as well, and what I call your 1,000 true fans, then content is very, very important. It's actually more than a supplement. Okay. So if that's you in your coaching business, maybe disregard this podcast. But if you are a coach and you're already at around, let's say 5-7K per month, you've got a solid audience, you've been making content consistently, and you're not getting the clients that you want to get, or you're not making the revenue that you want to make inside your coaching business. And I'm assuming you want to cross kind of the bridge to 10, 15, 20, 30K months, then this podcast is for you, because you're probably putting too much emphasis on your content and not enough emphasis on making offers and sending value videos and having powerful conversations with your ideal types of clients, because that's where clients are created. It's very important to understand this. And this is why I have this thumbnail here, which is content is a supplement. And if you guys aren't watching the video, I have a couple of associated slides with what I'm talking about today. So this is on YouTube and on Spotify. But content is a supplement, meaning that it is important, right? Like, let me give you an example. Let's say that I'm working with a health coaching client and they're showing a lot of different symptoms in their day-to-day life, and they're severely deficient, let's say, in vitamin B, right? If that's the case, and then I get them on, let's say, vitamin B shots or vitamin B12, whatever it may be, and it significantly improves their energy and the efficiency of their cells in their body, and they have just more energy in their day-to-day, and they're more productive, and they spend higher quality time with their family, that's life-changing, right? Like that's pretty important stuff. And I just got them on a supplement, let's say, and then maybe I made some lifestyle recommendations as well. But I want to make that clear, right? Because I'm not saying in the comparison I'm making here, I'm not saying content's not important. But what I am saying is that if I told that same, let's say, health coaching client to totally forget about getting their steps in and weight training and building lean muscle, getting sun, and focusing on high quality organic foods, that's the main thing, right? That's going to get that person the best results, not me just getting them on a vitamin B supplement, right? Although both are important and both work synergistically together, I would be remiss if I forgot about all those things and just try to get her on a bunch of supplements. This is the point that I'm making inside of this podcast, is that a lot of online coaches do that. You're mistaking the main thing, which is making offers and sending out value videos, and hoping that content can just do all the heavy lifting for you, when it's actually the opposite, right? Your offers, your conversations, and your value videos do the heavy lifting for you. Content just gets people interested, right? Content says, hey, I'm going to opt into this thing, or I'm raising my hand, or hey, I'm listening to what you have to say because you have my attention. That's the whole point of content, is to get your attention. And then if you're trying to get sales via content, don't get me wrong, it can be done, but it's harder. And you want to make sure that you have a perfect synergy with making offers and sending value videos, which I'm going to talk about today as well, because content is not a business model, right? Content is marketing. It's a part of what you do, and it's a big part of your business model for sure. Don't get me wrong. But making offers, sending value videos, that is where the money is made. And just like I'm talking about supplements, if I got a health coaching client and I just got them on a bunch of supplements right away, without properly going through my assessments, without properly talking about different lifestyle factors, different nutritional factors, different exercise factors, then I'm not doing my job, right? And for some of you guys listening to this podcast right now, that's what you're doing, but in your coaching business. You're focusing all your time and energy on the supplement instead of the main thing that's going to get the results that you're looking for. Now, again, just to reiterate, content has a role, and it is very important. It's actually a big part of what I talk about inside of my Lifestyle Wealth Mastermind, inside of what I coach a lot of my clients on, because it creates opportunity for you, right? So to go even deeper on this, in terms of me making offers and sending value videos, if I don't have people to make offers to or send value videos to, then I can't do that most important action step, right? And content helps with that. Content sometimes creates that for me. So I can have that engine moving forward of ideal types of clients who are saying, hey, I'm interested. Hey, send me more info about what you do. Send me this training. I'm listening to your podcast, whatever it may be, right? That's content. And that's important because that allows me or allows you to do the main thing, which is going to equate to money in your bank account, which is making offers, having powerful conversations, and sending value videos. Okay. So that's important. So to look at this here, and if you guys are just listening to this on Apple, you can't see it, but I'm showing a graph of what I teach inside of my Lifestyle Wealth Mastermind. So here where I'm talking about attract, this is all attention, right? This is us making sure that we're getting the right attention of your ideal type of client. This is important. Right? This is very important, especially if you're at the beginning stages of your coaching business. You want to place a lot of time, energy, and attention on this action step because anything downstream from this is harder to do if you don't first have the attention of your ideal clients. And here we're talking about, let's just use Instagram as an example. We're talking about organic content. We're talking about potentially some follower ads to slowly grow the attention that you have on your account and your followers. We're talking about call to actions. Maybe we're boosting some of our highest performing posts. We're priming our profile to make sure it's very clear who we are, who we help, and what our offers are. Maybe there's some joint ventures that we do with different companies or different coaches who have similar audiences to us, referrals, things like that. This is us just getting attention, right? And this is key. But then when it comes to actually making offers, having conversations, sending value videos, and then closing, this is where you make your money. And I see a lot of coaches focus almost all their time and attention on the front end here and just hope that this stuff takes care of itself in terms of making offers, sending value videos, and it doesn't. Excuse me. You need to be focused on it, guys. You need to be focused on this and set daily or weekly action steps for you and numbers to hit so that you know you're trending in the right direction. Let me give you another example. At the beginning stages of your coaching business, so I'm going to say less than 5K a month, you do need to focus the majority of your time on building your 1,000 true fans. You just do, right? Because you just don't have the attention, you don't have leads, you don't have good ideal types of clients, you don't have trust in the marketplace yet. So you do need to spend the majority of your time here. Right? That just is what it is. And then probably 20% of your time is going to be spent selling, making offers, having conversations, sending value videos, because you just don't have that much opportunity. But the opportunity that you do have, you want to make sure that you capitalize on it. So for those of you who are listening to this podcast and you're under 5K a month, this is probably your situation in terms of the 80-20 of your time. But then when you get 5K a month plus and you're starting to grow your coaching business, this needs to completely flip. Okay. Now you want to sustain your content. Yes, because that's your marketing engine. You want to sustain it. You want to get into a good flow with it. You want to create systems. Maybe you hire someone who edits your reels and helps you with Canva graphics and things like that to take a little bit of the time off. But you want to spend 80% of your time sending value videos, having powerful conversations with your ideal clients, and making offers to calls, making offers to join your coaching programs, opening and closing it, because this is where you're going to make your money. And this is how you're going to cross that gap from, let's say, 7K a month to 15, 20, 30K a month over time. It comes from you doing this stuff. Right? It's not from leveling up your content. It's not from posting more. It's from doing this. Again, don't get me wrong. Posting more can help. Leveling up your content can help, but it's not the main thing. It's the supplement to the main thing. So it's just important to understand this, guys, because in a lot of the conversations that I have with clients or just people in general, if you're messaging me on Instagram, sometimes you're focused on the wrong thing. And that's one of the biggest causes for concerns that I see in online coaching businesses is you have good work ethic, you have good skills, but you're running in the wrong direction, right? And that can set you back. I need to get you running in the right direction so that you can get to where you want to go faster. To give you another example, you might see some coaches who just came on the scene a couple of years ago, and it seems like they're just scaling to the moon. They're making a lot of money. They're doing a lot better than you, and you've been in the game for quite some time. It's because they're starting to master this, whereas you might not be. And it's the most important thing in the beginning. So again, just like I said, guys, content has a role, and depending on where you're at inside of your coaching business, it can have a big role, right? Because it gets the attention. But clients are created from in-depth conversations. Clients are created from sending value videos. Clients are created from making offers. So it's important to understand that and make sure that you guys are focused on that, because in the work that I do with clients and in the work that I just see where a lot of coaches are at, I see that you're focused on the wrong thing. And I see that you don't put a necessary amount of focus and time and energy and attention into what the client acquisition metrics look like. And you're putting that time, energy, and attention into the first step, which is getting that attention, which is creating that content, which is important, don't get me wrong, but you want to make sure that you save a good majority of that time and energy and attention to the main things that is going to get clients. So let me give you an example. And this isn't me saying you should do this. I'm just more so giving you an example. I have some clients who sometimes don't post on social media at all, or just post to kind of give them a good initial branding and some good initial flagship posts around who they are, what they do, who they help. And they'll do individual outreach to companies, real estate agent offices, construction offices, dentist offices, like some different things inside their local area. They'll just make these connections via email, via LinkedIn. They'll do an in-person lunch and learn, and they'll make sometimes $5,000, $10,000 in reoccurring revenue from just shaking hands, right? And doing an in-person conversation and having these powerful conversations. Like this right here, guys, a lot of coaches sleep on this because everybody wants to get clients online and from all over the world, where you might have some really good ideal types of clients just down the street from you right now at a local office, right? In some capacity. This right here, shaking hands, having conversations, delivering a presentation, talking about your coaching and how it can help them. This gets clients, right? Like some coaches will post content for 6 months and not even sniff some high value clients like this. Whereas another coach will just make the decision and go down to a real estate office, shake some hands, get some good clients, and go from there. Like it's literally, it can be that simple. You just need to be focused on the right things at the right time. Another example, I just sent this out to everybody in my top 20 coaching program who just joined, The Prosperous Coach, which is a powerful, powerful book around having powerful conversations with ideal clients, growing your coaching business. Really, really good book. Steve Chandler and Rich Litvin are kind of OGs inside of the coaching space. Definitely read this book if you haven't already. But inside of this book, they talk about how they'll have a 2-hour conversation with a prospect before they sign them to one of their coaching programs. And the reason why they do that is multifaceted, but the main reason is because if you go that deep with a potential prospect, the likelihood of them signing on with you skyrockets, but also you make sure that you guys are a good fit, right? Instead of just like, and this is kind of the qualm I have with the online coaching industry, is everybody's looking for the hack, right? Everybody's looking for what's the fastest way I can get clients. What's the exact DM script I can follow to get this client very, very fast, right? And sometimes I actually take the opposite approach. Like just train your mind to think like this for a second. What's the longest path I could take to get clients? Like just humor me for a minute, right? Think about this. What's the longest way to get a client? And train your mind to think about that for a second and all the little things you would do in that pathway, right? Because sometimes there are some important elements within that thinking pattern that you guys are going through right now, which is completely opposite from everything else that you're seeing online, which helps you understand, you know what, I'm rushing this thing that I shouldn't be rushing, or you know what, I'm skipping this step which I shouldn't be skipping, right? Like, for example, sending value videos. For example, going deeper in the conversation that you're having with an ideal client to ask the right questions instead of trying to force a sales call down their throat, right? Sometimes you need patience in some of these steps to client acquisition, and a lot of coaches are so horny for the sale that they miss them. So understanding this is key, guys. And this is what's called the buying pocket, right? Because once you're having a powerful conversation with an ideal client and you understand where they're at in terms of point A, which is the problem, the pain points that they're going through, the thing that they want to solve, let's say in a health conversation, with where they're at. And then point B is the goal. What goal do they have? Why is it important to them? How is it going to improve other areas in their life? Once you understand these two things, now you have your prospect in the buying pocket, right? Because your coaching program, it fits right here. Your mechanism, whatever you call your coaching, it's the perfect bridge between point A and point B. This is the buying pocket. This is how having conversations, sending value videos, going deep with individually with your prospects, it creates the buying pocket, right? Content sometimes creates a buying pocket, but rarely. Content creates more attention, right? Content gets someone to actually respond to your DM. Content gets someone to opt in to your landing page or opt into a conversation with you, comment down below, or just more so just get attention. Maybe they're watching your stories more, whatever it may be. And that's important because, it's the first step to creating the buying pocket. But the buying pocket is usually created through an in-depth one-on-one conversation, through an individualized value video, and then obviously making an offer to them, sales call, and going from there. That's how you create buying pockets, right? Clients are created from buying pockets. Okay, content is important and it supplements this process, but it's not the main thing for most online coaches. Okay, I don't want to use a blanket statement. For most online coaches, this is true. So understanding this is key, guys. And yes, content helps, but if you're not making offers and you're not sending value videos, that's why your coaching business isn't growing. It's not that you need to make your content better. It's that you need to make more offers and you need to send more value videos, because that has a direct correlation to more money in your bank account over time. So anyway, guys, just kind of a false belief / thinking pattern shift that I wanted to help you guys with. Hope you enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one.